for more, now you got me ready for war. Remember my name, everybody out of my way. Back up or get knocked out, this ain't a game. Cause I never stay down when they push me around. See the world stand up when they give you the crown. Now it's go time, do or die, dead or alive. You can try to kill me, but I will survive. I will survive. You're poking every part of me. I'm putting everything down. I keep rising higher, higher, higher now. Don't fuck with me. Never gonna hold me down. I keep rising higher, higher, higher. The world can't stop me now. You can't stop me. Can't stop me. No, you can't stop me. Can't stop me. No, you can't stop me. Can't stop me. No, you can't stop me. Can't stop me. Can't stop me. No, you 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 can't stop me. I'm bloodied and I'm beaten down. I keep rising higher, 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 higher. You're poking every part of me. I'm bloodied and I'm beaten down. I keep rising higher, higher, higher now. Don't fuck with me. Never gonna hold me down. I keep rising higher, higher, higher. The world can't stop me
So what's up, everyone? Welcome back to Ill Trained Fighters. As always, I'm Athen.
And I'm Don. Yeah, sorry
Yes,
I've missed a couple of plays here. Sorry. So what's going on, everybody? What's going on, man?
Don's been slacking a little bit.
What's up? Oh, it's slacking?
Not much, dude. Just been...
Yeah, last week.
Last
week I totally slept through my alarm. So, yeah, then, it's like Sundays are like my the start of like my weekend, and then like if I actually want something to do, it's like, oh, do I do the show? It's like not do the show. So, what's going on with you, man?
Not much. Just been chilling, gaming.
Right.
All that good stuff.
Yeah.
So we got Larry Olmstead checking in the comments from Cameron, Missouri.
Oh, there it is. Comments. Hey, what's going on, Larry? All right. Athen, you got something for us, or you want me to start?
You can go ahead and start because I didn't bring out a lot of high caliber stories for this week. Just kind of.
All right. Let's see. Maybe I can bring it in. Oh, share screen, select 2. Wow. Ah, there we are. All right. So, a lot of news on this. Well, actually, several pieces. Since the Snyder's Cut is coming on Thursday, there have been several pieces reporting on this. So the first one that we have here is Zack Snyder's Justice League has an early fan reaction, and they're praising the film's humor and emotion. Not like, it's a comic book movie. How much emotion do we really want? But early reactions to Zack Snyder's Justice League have arrived, and it's set to release in just a few days. For those that don't know, Snyder worked on the film, but would eventually part ways with the studio during production for for production of Justice League for creative clashes and a family tragedy. Oh, let's see. Can I make this bigger? Anyways. Yeah, I think like somebody really, I remember like somebody really close to him died. I don't want to say it was his kid, but I want to say, or his wife, but I can't really remember. So instead they got Avengers director Joss Whedon, who was brought in to rewrite and reshoot much of the film, which created a much different movie than Zack Snyder had intended. That version of the movie, which was released in 2017, was a box office and critical disaster. It's arguably the DC extended universe's biggest failure. Spurred on by a massive fan campaign on social media, HBO Max decided to allow Snyder to finish up his version, which is a 4-hour epic that promises a decidedly different take on the DC superheroes. And so basically, let's see. Basically on here, yeah, so everybody's saying that it's good. Well, Stephen Colbert, I don't know if you like him or not, but most broadly appealing movie. It's R-rated, 4 hours long, feels mostly PG, flies by 2.5 hours, which is actually great because 4 hours is a long time for a movie. And so, not what you expected, funnier than the theatrical cut, which people did not react well to Joss Whedon's form of humor in that recut of Justice League. I know I didn't. I mean, a lot of stuff just like felt forced. I don't know who this guy is. Lighter in tone, which Zack Snyder movies are known for being dark. So these are just like a bunch of tweets, you know, for a lot of people just saying like how great the movie is. Oh, what I should have found was last week? Last week, there was something going on. I want to see if I could find the article. Where on HBO Max, like the Tom and Jerry movie came out, and like instead of watching Tom and Jerry, you got you got to watch the Justice League movie. So like you click on Tom and Jerry, and then like Justice League would play. Here we go.
Oops.
Yeah, HBO Max accidentally swapped Justice League with Tom and Jerry.
That's funny,
right?
I didn't know there was a Tom and Jerry movie.
I didn't either. Yeah, blah 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 blah. Doug Bass, one of the unsuspecting viewers who stumbled upon Justice League and took to Twitter to share his unique experience. Bass wrote, "Just wanted to put on Tom and Jerry for some background noise. While he worked, he was surprised to find instead he was going to get to watch a Snyder cut a week and a half early." So this was like 2 weeks ago. And then like everything took it down. So they did. So HBO actually caught it, and they took it down. Like, so they didn't get to watch the whole thing. Oh, here's a quote: "The CGI finally rivals that of Marvel, and you're gonna love it." Okay, so another praise on it.
Nice.
Oh, and our last one for. Oh, what? Oh, I was gonna say, and our last one. You said and what? And our last story to regard Justice League news. Zack Snyder's hosting an actual watch party for his movie. So Zack Snyder will be hosting his own watch party for his Justice League Director's Cut when it releases on HBO Max. Snyder's 4-hour version is finally on its way to HBO Max after extensive online campaigning. If those of you that don't know, and fans who have helped get there have a chance to watch it along with Snyder himself. It's been announced that Snyder himself and some special guests will be doing the watch party in partnership with Snyder. The watch party will take place March 18th, the day it drops at 7 p.m. Eastern time. And the event will include a Q&A with Snyder beforehand, and fans can RSVP via Snyder through an HBO Max account in order to participate. And so article talks about the watch party, and they go into Oh wait, that's a link for a different article. Yeah, and then more insight into Justice League for those that don't know. So, I always think watch parties are like a really cool idea. I mean, I've been wanting to do one with like some random movies. I mean, but it's like kind of hard with like copyrights and stuff. I mean, I guess like we can play the movie and like mute it, and then like because everybody's doing like react videos, right? And they're able to play that. But then again, these videos don't have the lawyers of like Warner Brothers.
It's like it also depends on what platform you're doing this stuff on. So it's like Facebook
Right.
is a lot harder to get away with that kind of stuff than like YouTube. So
Right.
because Facebook, they don't ask questions, they just fucking shut you down. So and then YouTube will be like, okay, well, you don't own the copyright for that, so we're going to just send the money to the people who do own the copyright for that video roll, and unless you can prove that it's fair use,
but
which
people
would be.
Yeah.
So
I don't know. I mean, we'll have to dig around that and see. I mean, if anything, maybe like we can have a movie on here and then like maybe mute it. I don't know if that would like get around the bots that monitor all this stuff. I mean, especially if it's like just commentary.
That might.
I know some people will like
just kind of commenting on it with audio.
Yeah, no audio, just video, and like it's just our dumbasses talking about it. I don't know.
I think that would be able to skirt the copyrights because you're not actually playing the full material. So
yeah, if anybody's interested on us doing a watch party or any commentary, we'll have a drinking party and we'll watch movies. That'll be fun. Comment and see what happens. Well, I mean, yeah, we'll definitely look into it if there's people interested, because then we'll have to like get some worked out with our schedules. All right, more news. Let's see this. All right, this is an interesting twist. Batman's Andy Serkis hints that Alfred could be an ex-SAA agent. The Batman's Alfred Pennyworth, which is played by Andy Serkis, hints that his iteration of the character will be an ex-SAS. While speaking to Comic Book Movie about his new film, SAS Red Notice, Serkis was asked if his character in that movie has any good grounds with his Alfred. Surprisingly, Serkis couldn't outright confirm such a thing, but his answer certainly feels telling. I mean, if I get into this sort of discussion about it, I'll get taken out by somebody for sure. Oh, people with movie leaks. I think there's probably it might be some bit of crossover, yeah, for sure, but I can't tell you anymore. Comic book fans know Alfred has a history as a spy, recently shown in live action form with the epic series Pennyworth. With so much going on with Batman, there seems unlikely Alfred can get past or will get much attention in the film. However, fans can perhaps expect some knowing winks about what the Butler got up and before he joined up with the Waynes. So I like the concept because I mean it always depends, because there's been like so many retcons to like all these different characters and so many iterations and like so many different universes. It's like, I mean, yeah, I mean, I like it better than he was just like a butler, right? I mean, I like the concept,
and the whole, because Alfred's character, he always seemed a little bit more deep, than just a butler.
Yeah.
Like he's obviously, very capable on his own and all that stuff. So it's like it does make sense. It's kind of clean that up, but I'm not a huge DC person, so I don't really know what the canon to Alfred's backstory is.
It keeps on changing. So I mean, that's a problem with like comic book based stuff. I mean,
but
the Christopher Nolan movies, they made him a colonel. They didn't get too much into that, or maybe they did. They mentioned it, I can't remember. I haven't seen it in a while. Yeah, I remember like one scene in The Dark Knight, when he's talking to Christian Bale. He was talking about, I mean, Christian Bale calls him Colonel in like the first movie, and then like I remember he was telling him, like, they were talking about the Joker, and he's talking about like one time he was like deployed in like Burma, and he was talking about the guy that was like throwing jewels in like the side of the road, and how like some men just want to watch the world burn. So like, so they hint at it, but I don't know. XSAS, so that's British Special Forces. I mean, I think that would be like a pretty cool concept, because I don't know. I think it was like based off of like readers wanting like there to be like Alfred being like a badass, like secretly, you know, where like he's fully capable of taking care of himself, like they showed in the Snyder movies, like him being able to adequately assist the Batman and like all of his stuff, like fly the Batwing and like all this other stuff, or even like the Adam West movies, like dress up as Batman as like a stand-in or something. So I mean, him being like competent and fully capable of like, or like being an X-Man of action. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I like the concept, and then like putting a label on it, making it XSAS instead of just unknown soldier from. I mean, he's obviously British, but did you see the Pennywise show on Epix?
No, I did not.
Yeah, I didn't either. But they're saying like, I guess he was like a spy. Then again, that's based off the popularity of they did one for who was the writer of James Bond? Ian Fleming.
Oh, that I don't.
Yeah, so Ian Fleming was actually during World War II a part of British intelligence, and so he based James Bond off of somebody that he actually knew. And then a couple of years ago, they made a series based off of Ian Fleming and what he went through. But then again, they basically made Ian Fleming Bond instead of like Ian Fleming making the show about Ian Fleming and his interactions with the person that influenced him to make Bond, right? So because of that success, that show, they and you know, comic books and all this other stuff, they did that Pennywise show. And I think Gotham had just ended as well. So they wanted like some type of Batman universe filler.
Okay. Because also in Gotham, wasn't Alfred portrayed as kind of like more than just your typical butler? I didn't watch the whole thing.
Yeah, me either.
Gotham,
I just saw like clips.
A good portion of it, but it's like in Gotham, I'm pretty sure he was portrayed as, you know, a person with skills of some sort, even in there. So
a particular set of skills.
Yes. Honed over a very long career.
Right.
It's a nightmare for people like you.
So, speaking of Batman, the movie The Batman officially wrapped filming finally, because they've been
The Batman. That just
yeah, so they actually had like a lot of like a really hard time trying to get this movie made, just because of, you know, everything that happened last year and the state of current affairs on how it is currently. I don't know if we're gonna, you know, get a strike against us for mentioning it.
So the sparkly vampire guy, I can't remember his actual name, playing Batman,
Robert Pattinson.
That's supposed to fall. Okay, yeah, Robert Pattinson. His version of Batman is supposed to fall into the Joaquin Phoenix version of Joker's kind of whole telling of the story, right?
No. So Joker is completely separate. It was basically let's make a character study on the Joker and his psyche, right? And so it was basically character driven instead of like comic book driven, right? So it's like
but I do know. Oh, sorry.
No. So it was like, all right,
I was gonna say,
yeah, let's make this movie and forget that it happens in this comic book universe, right? And let's just focus on that. And then that's like what made that movie so good is that they didn't care. It's like, yeah, they had like nods to like Batman and like the family and like all the other stuff, but it wasn't about all that. I mean, it was about the character and like what he went through and like his mentality and like his experiences and like how he has like the psychotic break and like all that stuff. So,
but I had heard stuff about how they were supposed to be tying that in with another movie, like that actually has Batman.
I don't know if they're going to do anything else on it. I mean, I haven't heard anything, but yeah, but this one is like separate, right? And this is like separate from the Justice League one. This was supposed to be a Ben Affleck movie, but then Justice League bombed, and then Ben Affleck checked deuces. So, but anyways,
another thing I'd heard also is Ben Affleck is still going to do Batman because they're going to have Ben Affleck playing Batman. They're going to have him playing Batman, and they're going to have one other person playing Batman. Like there's going to be
Keaton.
3 different Batmans.
Michael
Keaton. So there's going to be 3 different Batmans that coexist at the same time, kind of like how they're doing with Spider-Man. So I guess DC's trying to the multiverse.
Yeah, they're tying into the Flashpoint. I mean, they're basically saying the Flash movie is going to be a Flashpoint movie, which those of you who don't know, Flashpoint is where Barry goes back in time to try and save his mom, but in doing so, he like completely fucks up the universe, the timeline, right? The whole butterfly effect happens to where he changes this one thing, and then like everything else in the world like fucks up, right? So there's like,
got it.
So all these different events happen in different orders, and then in order to attempt to fix it, of course, that also changes all these other things. And so, and that's, I don't know how they're going to do it in this new movie, but that's basically what it is. It's time travel. You can't, time travel's bad.
Yeah. So, okay.
So,
but anyways, moving right along with the story.
Right. So the Batman officially wraps filming. Yeah, we already know Robert Pattinson's going to be Batman. So Matt Reeves, the writer and director, released this picture on Twitter, letting him know it's the last day, and so filming has wrapped. Let's see. The Batman has faced a long road to the big screen. Production on the Caper Crusader solo film began in January 2020, but only a portion of the film has been completed before production was shut down in March due to the pandemic. Since then, the film faced multiple delays and restarts, one of which Pattinson reportedly tested positive for the virus. The movie was then allowed to resume filming in the UK despite strict national lockdown. So that's the way the world is right now. I mean, people can't work and they can't make movies. And I mean, how do you come out with like new IPs? And I mean, it's like when you say you can't be within the close proximity of people, when you're worried about cross contamination, it's like, how do you do something like this? I mean, how does basic human action resume again? I mean, sports are suffering, schools are suffering, the film industry, all those millions of dollars. I mean, they got to think about a way around it. So, I mean, but I'm not going to get into one of those rants about that because that's not what this show's about. So, one step closer. So, I mean, just like any other movie, as soon as like filming's done, then you got to go into editing, and then after editing's done, then you got to go into special effects, sound design, and then so I don't know if I mentioned it. So instead of being slotted for, let's see if I can find it, July of this year, here we go. March 4th, 2022 is the prospective release date. I mean, it's a lot better
Not too
than James
poorly.
Bond being set back like 4 or 5 times. Which, I think it's supposed to be Daniel Craig's last movie. No Time to Die, I think is going to come out, October, November this year instead of the multiple times that it was supposed to release last year and this year.
Yep.
Because I think it was supposed to come out it was supposed to in I want to say April, May, or June. One of those 3. And then they postponed it again.
Mm-hmm.
So,
because even the title song for it's already been released, hasn't it?
So, speaking of the Flash movie loses Billy Crudup and casts Barry's mother. So, Barry Crudup, as shown here, if you guys don't know, was Dr. Manhattan in the Watchmen movies. I guess is gone. But they cast his mom. Okay. Spanish actress Maribel Verdú to play Barry Allen's mother. This movie's had a lot of issues. I mean, it's had multiple writers, multiple directors. They couldn't get on the same page with everything. I mean, that Joss Whedon messed up that Justice League movie because it's a whole domino effect. Because of that movie's failure, it changed the whole game plan of what DC was going to do, and it changed the style that they were going to do. I mean, look at have you seen the second Wonder Woman? Wonder Woman 1984?
Nope, I haven't. I really haven't. Like I said, I'm not a big DC person, so I haven't really watched any of the DC movies. I kind of lost a lot of desire to watch Wonder Woman 84 because I heard lots of not so great things about it. So, but
I enjoyed it. So tonally, those movies are night and day. The first one is night and the second one is day. The tone is completely different. The way it's shot, the script, all the dialogue, everything's different from the first one. Because the first one they kept that. Oh, same thing with Aquaman. So the first Wonder Woman movie was dark, especially when you look at filmography or the whole color scheme and the palette of the movie, it was dark and muddy, just like every other Snyder movie that's out there, right? And so then Aquaman came out, and then Wonder Woman 1984 came out, and then you see it's funny, everything is bright and there's colors, and it's the sun finally came out in this movie universe, right? Not they're trying to do a Marvel thing, but they're just not trying to be so dark with everything.
Okay.
Let's see. All right. So the actor Billy Crudup dropped out of the DC blockbuster due to scheduling conflicts with Apple Plus's morning show. Well, pandemic. What can you really do? He was set to play Barry's father, Henry Allen, which he was in Justice League. But they're saying that the studio will probably recast. So that means that he's got more interaction with Barry in that movie. So fans might recognize this actress from her other works, which all right, I'm gonna try it. Alfonso Cuarón's Y tu mamá también, and Guillermo del Toro's Pan's Labyrinth. Oh, that wasn't too bad.
Okay. Guillermo del Toro's Pan's Labyrinth. I've seen that one.
I hated Pan's Labyrinth. I really hated it. All I wanted to do was just smack that little kid and just be oh, you deserve all of this. Did you see the movie?
Yeah, it's been out for a while, right?
Yeah, a long while.
The little blonde girl. Yeah, that's the one with the little blonde girl.
Was she blonde? I thought she was a brunette. Anyways, it doesn't matter. I was in the Navy when when that movie came out.
Okay, I think it is the same movie I'm thinking of. Because it's just really dark and really gritty about the labyrinth. Yeah.
Right. So, spoilers, you guys have had like over 10 years to watch this movie. She dies at the end. And you're like supposed to feel sorry for her, but like, I don't know, maybe I was just spiteful because of the military, but I was like, you deserve this. It's like everything that's happened. It's like you made a decision, you were dumb. They said like they told you don't do this thing, you went and do this thing, you deserve it. And I was like, I can't. And it was just like I don't know. It like she just annoyed me for some reason. And it's not like, I don't know, I hate kids, but it's like, how am I supposed to feel sorry for? It's like, don't stick the fork in the light socket. Oh, you stick the fork in the light socket and you get shocked. And I was like, well, that's what happens.
That's right. Why we tell you not to do it.
Anyways.
Yeah. Sadly, that's actually how kids are.
Survival of the fittest. Okay. We got. Wow, we're gonna blow through all these. So you better come up with something to say about these. So me and you talked about this pre-show, and you actually remember this movie, and you like this movie. So Young Guns 3. Emilio Estevez says the sequel is in development. So
okay. And they shouldn't, because Lou Diamond Phillips, he's still alive, right?
Yeah, he's still alive. He's still doing stuff.
Because, I mean, and Emilio Estevez, and then you've got.
Oh, wait, let's Charlie go up to the cast. All right. I can't remember. Oh, wait, that's. Is that who I think it is? Oh, I'm gonna. That.
Because, yeah.
This is the guy that played. Chucky, and he played Wormtongue in Lord of the Rings. I want to say, I can't remember that dude's name. Brad Dourif. Is that really him? I'm gonna look at it. Young Guns cast. IMDb. Sorry, we're going like on a tangent here, but we need to kill time. All right, Emilio Estevez, Kiefer Sutherland, Lou Diamond Phillips, Charlie Sheen, Dermot Mulroney, Terrence. Terrence Stamp. Oh, Jack Palance. Terry. I don't see Brad Dourif anywhere on here. So maybe it's not. It just looks like it, though. Anyways, I don't remember this dude either. So these guys probably die really early. So Kiefer Sutherland, Emilio Estevez, Lou Diamond Phillips, Christian Slater.
Mm-hmm.
Remember when he used to
Christian
do stuff?
Slater. Is he still actually doing anything?
No, I don't think so. Oh, he does. Yeah, he does
I haven't
Archer.
heard much about Christian Slater in a while.
Yeah, he makes guest spots on Archer. Nowadays, as like the CIA guy.
Got it. So what I'm wondering, are they going to have a good portion? Because I mean, most of those people, I mean, they're all still alive and all still fairly active in Hollywood. I'm wondering if it's going to be like same cast, partially the same cast, or like how they're going to do that.
I think Kiefer Sutherland's wrapped up in a show right now. Charlie Sheen, nobody really wants to work with Charlie Sheen, you know? Yeah. So there's that. They could probably get Christian Slater and Lou Diamond Phillips. Does Kiefer Sutherland die in the first movie?
I can't remember if he did or not. I think he might.
I want to say he dies at like the very end.
I think so, actually.
Yeah, anyways.
I think so.
I'm pretty sure this dude dies.
Several of them actually die.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure this dude dies.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember him. this Brad Dourif looking guy probably dies. And then I think Kiefer Sutherland dies in like the final gunfight in the movie. I mean, Emilio Estevez ain't doing anything. You know, Lou Diamond Phillips, he's not doing anything right now. He was in a couple of movies like a few years ago. I think about like he was in that movie with those Chilean miners that were trapped. Throwback. Okay. We talked about it on an old
episode of 1700. And did I just lag out of internet? That's really weird. Hello, hello. What the hell? I'm not sure exactly what's going on here. So I think we might have just had a technical difficulty. Yes, I think that's what happened. We had a technical difficulty. Wait one moment. There we go.
Whoa, what just happened?
I have no idea. Like, everything just stopped for me. And
we mentioned it 1700 somewhere, and then we have technical difficulties. This is karma. Right? This is karma. If you guys don't know, look at those old episodes of It's 1700 somewhere, and it's technical difficulties somewhere, and it was like every show. All right,
maybe dropping broadcasts and all kinds of stuff left and right.
Yeah, audio and anyways, okay. Yes, Aaron, we're back. Technical difficulties. Hello, Jennifer. All right. For those of you that don't know, here's a quick synopsis of Young Guns. Follows a group of young gunslingers who find themselves hunted by the employees of a rich rancher, L.G. Murphy, who is played by Jack Palance. The film gives vague insight into the backstory of Billy the Kid and the Regulators. All right, I'm just going to slow this down.
Regulators!
All right, I'm going to slow this down and like do it in my radio voice. A deputized posse that fought in New Mexico's Lincoln County War. The Westerners weren't particularly popular during the time of the film's release. Its star power helped push it to the limelight. After grossing over $45 million on a $13 million budget, the film had more than enough momentum to merit a sequel. What's more, Estevez's portrayal of Billy the Kid has been one of the highlights of Young Guns. When Young Guns 2, Blaze of Glory, arrived in 1990, its focus was that Billy the Kid on how he successfully managed to fake his own death. Yeah, Young Guns 2 sucked. I mean, it was kind of cool to like see. I mean, yeah, it focused more on Emilio Estevez, but like overall the story sucked. I mean, it didn't have like the great cast like it did.
It didn't. Yeah, I agree with that. It didn't have the great cast. One thing I will say I liked about the second one was like at the end when he was an old man and, you know, on the road with the freaking reporter interview.
Yeah.
Him, and he's like,
but actually that was based on true life. There was a guy that said, "I am Billy the Kid. Mm-hmm. This is how I fake my death."
Yeah.
That was based on a guy, like true story. There was a legit dude that said, I am Billy the Kid.
Yep. So, and that was that was my favorite part of that, because it kind of, I thought it was real. And,
I didn't realize
these movies are coming out when I was
a
kid.
I mean, I didn't know that part until after the fact.
Mm-hmm.
Which makes me appreciate it like a little bit more, that like it's actually based off of a dude that says I'm Billy the Kid, But all right.
So, but
no, go ahead.
But it's like, this is back in the day when I was a kid, and you had movies like Maximum Overdrive, and what other movies were Billy Kid and Charlie Sheen in together? Like, this is back in the time frame where Emilio Estevez and Charlie Sheen are just like your top actors and actors anyways, out at the time. So it's like, and Emilio Estevez was always one of my favorite actors, and it really always bummed me out that Charlie Sheen was more famous than Emilio Estevez. But hey, whatever. You're muted, Don.
Oh, my bad.
Don,
yeah. Sorry. I didn't want like the noise of like me vaping like go over. No, but they're brothers, so it's bound to happen. Yeah. But I don't know. I like it's kind of hard because it's like I like Emilio Estevez from the Mighty Ducks and Young Guns, and I like Charlie Sheen from the Hot Shots movies and Major League. So it's like it's a big toss up.
Yeah. So,
but
I think the Mighty Ducks probably had something to do with Emilio Estevez being like my kind of favorite.
But that was in the 90s.
Like I said,
Young Guns was in the 80s.
Yeah. So we're Young Guns. Well, Young Guns 2 was in the early 90s, and then you had the Mighty Ducks and all that stuff, and then Charlie Sheen's movies at the same time. I always just kind of gravitated more towards Emilio Estevez movies, like like I mentioned, he
is the better actor of the two. In my opinion.
So, and then it's like back then also you gotta realize when I'm early teens at the time, and even younger than that at the time these movies are coming out. So I obviously gravitated more towards the Mighty Ducks than the more slapstick adult type movies of Charlie Sheen.
Oh, got it.
Like Hot Shots and all that. So
yeah, but that was in a time when like those parody movies were like a thing. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Aaron's saying that the best movie ever is the original. Wait, I didn't even know they made a remake, but Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid. I'm going to level with you, Aaron. I never saw it.
Neither have
I mean, Paul Newman's in it, right? And somebody else? I can't remember. Is it the guy that played Billy Jack?
I have no idea myself.
Aaron, you're going to have to help me out here, guy. I mean, I hear it's a great movie, but I didn't see it.
For the most part, on movies, if they were made before I was born, chances are I probably don't have much interest in watching it. So it's like,
I mean, it kind of depends. I mean, Escape from Alcatraz with Clint Eastwood is still a great movie.
Mm-hmm. I mean, there are some movies that are older than me that obviously because they are good movies that hold the test of time, I'll watch. But for the most part, if it's older than me, I don't really have much desire to watch them. And even just older movies that like I've seen before that are in my lifetime, I still tend to not want to watch old stuff. I like watching,
Oh, Aaron's saying meaning Young Guns 1 is the best movie ever made. Oh, well, I don't know about the best movie ever made, but I do agree that it is probably my favorite Western. Yeah, period. Yeah, it's like probably my favorite Western movie. I mean, The Quick and the Dead is good for what it is. I mean, it is like kind of cheesy, but yeah, the first Young Guns by far.
And come to find out, the whole quick draw shooting type stuff, that wasn't even actually really a thing.
What was?
doing the quick draw and all that stuff, trying to quick draw shots and all that stuff in the Old West, that wasn't actually
not like how they portrayed it. Of course not. I mean, but yeah, there wasn't like showdown in the middle of the street and then like all that other stuff. But I don't know. Anyways, so back to the story at hand. We have a quote. Oh, is it really a quote? Yeah, I mean, it's a quote from Emilio Estevez. He says, "Yeah, it's definitely in the works. I drive a lot and I spend a lot of time in the Midwest, and people will tell me, we haven't seen you on the screen for a while. Come back. We'd love to see you in movies again. We'd love to see you play Gordon Bombay," which I think they were going to bring back the Mighty Ducks. Mighty Ducks 4 or some crap like that. We'd love to see you play Billy Kid. So I feel like we've ticked one box and we're working on ticking another box. The Kid is a fun character to play. There's a lot of speculation of what happened that night in 1881 in Fort Sumner, New Mexico. Did he die? Did he not? And if so, there's a lot of mythical, historical, and actually some factual things that we can examine if we're serious about going back to that franchise as well. Yeah, he says that, but he says it's in development. So, I mean, they got to get a script together and they got to get a director and like the studio to buy off on it and invest in it. And you know what? People say like Hollywood's not doing anything original, but it like, I don't know. For me, this is a good reason why they don't always need to do something original. Then again, they could really mess this up. Like
yes, depending on how they do it. Yeah, I mean, I could see what happened with the second one because sequels, they tend to always happen like that. The sequel is almost always not as good as the first one.
Almost,
but they're also telling the story in a kind of perspective.
Right.
Almost, yeah. But it's like in lately these older movies like this from the 80s and all that stuff, there's been a resurgence of them making not remakes of the movies but just continuations of them, like with I had a movie that I was going to mention and it totally just like there's another movie that they just made, freaking Tremors with Kevin Bacon. So got sequel.
Those Tremor movies, those were rough.
Another sequel. Yeah, well,
they've been making the latest one had Kevin Bacon, didn't it?
Yeah, the latest one was an actual like legit sequel to it, and I'd seen it. It wasn't horrible. So I mean, Kevin Bacon's getting old.
Yeah, he is. And he's been in like worked with like practically everybody. That's what was it? 7 Degrees of Kevin Bacon.
I think it's 6 Degrees of Kevin Bacon.
Is it 6 Degrees? Because I know it's 7 Degrees of Separation. That was like the premise of that. Yeah, but Kevin Bacon's
might be 7 Degrees.
Yeah. Oh, we used to do the same thing. Like we were in the Navy. It was called like 7 clicks of Wikipedia. Basically, you can get to the same premise. Like basically, you can get to like one topic to another topic in 7 clicks or less via the hyperlinks of Wikipedia. So. And yeah, we used to like play a game. Like, we'd be on watch and like my LPO would just like hit me up and he'd just be like, give me 2 topics. And I was like, all right, this and this. And I was like, click. And he'd call me back and he'd be like, 4 clicks. Give me something else. And I was like, bro.
Same. Because the Kevin Bacon one, I always thought it was 6. It might be 7, but it's you can prove yourself some sort of connection with Kevin Bacon in 6 steps or 7 steps or less.
I'm probably sure. I mean, he's worked with like a lot of people. So. So I mean, it's bound to happen. Okay. Athen, you got something for us? I've been talking a lot here.
Let's see. I got a couple stories. To what I got. All right, so I'll hit this one up. This one is a gaming related story.
Yeah, sure.
So moving away from movies and stuff.
If you got a gaming one, are all the rest of your stories have gaming or gaming related? I should say.
No, I have 3 other stories. I think it is. There's one about gaming. You have one about gaming in there. I have one
several about gaming, but I have like one more that's movie based. So if we're gonna shift to gaming, then I might as well just get this movie related one out of the way.
Okay, yeah, because I have 2 gaming. You have 1 gaming in the chat, and then I've got 1 tech and I've got 1 science.
Yeah, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 gaming ones. All right, okay. So I mean, if you have nothing else that's movie based, all right, let's get through this last story and then we'll get into gaming. So, speaking of movies or movie based, Matthew McConaughey is considering running for Texas governor.
I'm just not.
Politics isn't really our jam here, but because it's an actor. Matthew McConaughey is considering a run for the position of Texas governor, one of the most recognized. And then they start with one line on the actual news, and then it's like, oh, if you don't know who Matthew McConaughey is, this is all the stuff that he's done. All right, yeah, I mean, speaking on the Balanced Voice podcast, McConaughey told host, I'm not even going to try to attempt that. When it comes to running the governor of Texas, it's a true consideration, revealing that he has been mulling over the next chapter of his life. McConaughey said, I'm looking into now again. What is my leadership role? Because I do think I have some things to teach and share, and what is my role? So the current governor is slated to run again, but of course, McConaughey has stoked the fires of political office speculation before when he mentioned in an interview on the Hugh Hewitt show that running for governor of Texas was not out of the realm of possibility. Renowned for his charm, soothing Texas drawl, and rugged, handsome appearance, McConaughey continues to utilize his magnetic personality to implement positive change in his community, including founding a Just Keep Living Foundation. Other actors have thrown in their hats for the political ring, including Cynthia Nixon from Sex and the City for governor of New York. Yeah, and Arnold Schwarzenegger was governor of California. Yeah, and Dwayne Johnson might be president. As it stands. All right, so it might happen, but then again, it just says is considering. So it's like it might happen, it might not happen. But then again, that's probably like one of those safe bet answers for the question. So.
I don't know how to feel about that. I mean, it's just like I don't know how to feel about The Rock being even a presidential run. Like,
trust them a lot better than our current.
I would have to say I agree with that. And I mean, he's got the popularity. He might win the race just based off of that, depending on who he's running against. You're muted, Don.
Oh yeah, I'm pretty sure that he'd get a lot of leeway. Oh, if Hillary came back, I'm pretty sure he'd because I think he goes Democrat. Because I think California is a blue state, and then they ostracize anybody that is Republican over in California.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's sad as how it works.
Kind of how it goes.
I think they did that too. They made a joke about it on one show, and it was like a certain actor, and he was like, the joke was that they exposed that he was, it was Henry Rollins was in a show with Alan Tudyk, and they joked on the fact that Alan Tudyk's character exposed that Henry Rollins was Republican, and like Henry Rollins couldn't like get work anywhere. And like, you know, that's kind of like Hollywood and California in general, where it's like, oh, you're a Republican and you're just ostracized. So, but I don't know. I don't live in Texas. I don't care. You know, I mean, if they want to, you know, elect Matthew McConaughey, by all means. I mean, I mean, Texas is its own thing. Same with like Florida. They do whatever they want, whatever they feel like. So, but I mean, if Arnold can do it, Matthew McConaughey can do it. And Arnold actually had some political sense. Anybody can agree or disagree on how well he acted as governor, but he got it, you know?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, but then again, yeah, who was his competition? Porn stars and like wizards and stuff. So
that I wasn't really paying much attention to politics at that time.
Oh, that year was crazy. Like Arnold did it and everybody was like coming out of the woodwork. I was like, oh, I want to run. Oh, I want to run. But I mean, but then again, it's all subjective. If you don't agree with it and you live in the state, well, then just vote against them. Right.
But yeah. Back then, Rosie O'Donnell was actually running for president, but she was, you know, an independent party and never really got anywhere with it. But yeah,
right.
I remember that her big thing was legalizing weed.
Yeah.
So
I don't know. Maybe sometime in the near future.
But if we're done with those movie stories, I'll start with these gaming stories. So this first one is one we've actually talked about a little bit, and it's something that's been mentioned a lot. Apparently, the EU has approved Microsoft's Bethesda acquisition. So, and that was one of the big hurdles with the whole thing of Microsoft buying Bethesda. So the regulatory group was one of the biggest roadblocks standing in the way of Microsoft buying Bethesda. Here, actually, I'll share this article like you do. Application tab. All right.
Yeah, and it's not even Bethesda. It's like, but ZeniMax, which I guess is like the parent company of Bethesda. Because ZeniMax like bought out Bethesda like in early 2000s, I want to say.
Okay. So we got Microsoft's acquisition of Bethesda, and I am showing the correct. Yep. Okay. So let me go back over to that. Microsoft's acquisition of Bethesda is one step closer to a reality, as one of the last roadblocks has now been cleared. The European Commission has approved Microsoft purchase. The acquisition was approved without conditions and pending approval in the U.S. It appears the $7.5 billion deal will indeed come to fruition. Update, indeed, Microsoft has officially bought Bethesda, parent company ZeniMax. The ruling was similar to other Microsoft purchases, so that must be an update after this was written, which this was written on the 8th. Right. So the ruling was similar to other Microsoft purchases, including GitHub most recently. Jeez, Microsoft is buying everyone. With the competition commission finding that the merger does not raise serious doubts as to its compatibility with the common market. Once the purchase is final, Microsoft's in-house studio tally will jump to 23 with studios such as Arcane Studios, Prey and Deathloop, ID Software for Doom, Machine Games for Wolfenstein, Bethesda, which is Skyrim, and obviously Fallout, Tango Gameworks, Ghostwire Tokyo, and more join in the fold. As part of the new arrangement, Bethesda's future games will release on Xbox Game Pass for no extra charge the same day they launch elsewhere. It's unclear if Microsoft will move toward making future Bethesda games purely Xbox and PC titles. Oh, I'd be so pissed if they did that.
That's
though it's honoring the agreement
one of our next stories.
Though it's honoring the agreement between Bethesda and Sony to make Deathloop a timed PlayStation exclusive. A new subsidiary called Vault has also been created to handle Bethesda properties in the future. Microsoft is rumored to be hosting an event later this month where it could potentially detail some of the plans it has for future Bethesda titles. The question around exclusivity has been a hot topic since the merger was announced in September last year and can be telling for the futures of projects such as Starfield, The Elder Scrolls 6, and more. And I've actually got a story about Starfield. This acquisition is one of the biggest in the history of the games industry. For instance, when Microsoft acquired Mojang, which is the studio from Minecraft, the price was only $2.5 billion. So, damn. And Mojang was a big acquisition for Microsoft also. So, but yeah. So, and it looks like it actually has happened. So, Microsoft has bought Bethesda. So,
so not to try and segue too much off of this, because I have 2 stories that follow up on it. On the actual acquisition of Microsoft and Bethesda ZeniMax Studios. How do you feel knowing that Microsoft will be in charge of that? I'm going to put this because that's our next article. I'm going to go back here. Yeah.
Okay. How do I feel?
How do you feel with knowing that Microsoft now owns and controls Bethesda ZeniMax?
I'm really concerned about that because, I mean, historically, what Microsoft has done when they've purchased, studios like this is they've kind of squashed them and kind of pushed those games to the wayside to get them out of their way for stuff that they want to do. I've noticed often, like it seems as soon as Microsoft gets control over something, the game ends up going downhill. Like I noticed it with all the football games. It was
no. That's EA. That's different from Microsoft. EA is perpetual,
but EA or Microsoft own EA. Right?
Do they? I don't think they do. I think EA is their own separate entity.
Okay.
All right, I'm gonna Google it real quick. Does Microsoft own EA? No, they're separate. Okay. So EA is perpetually known for, messing everything up, ruining everything.
But Microsoft tends to do the same thing too.
Examples.
So, but I thought I had one, but I don't know.
Show proof in your argument. I mean, I'm super skeptical. I mean, I am. Because it's like a company that put out great content before now has oversight, right? Mm-hmm. And with the next story that we're going to talk about, that company might not be able to take the proper avenues, might not make the correct business decisions that it really wants to or truly wants to in order to be successful, right? It may then go what is best for the brand and the company instead of, making great content and making great games. So that's one of the big things that concerns me, is that Microsoft's oversight may completely tank it, because there have been multiple cases where the company's bought out and then they now put out crap, just utter crap, right? And then people abandon it and then that company fails, right? It's not the first time that's happened. Because EA has done it.
Yeah.
With multiple gaming studios.
And I think that's what I was thinking.
Right.
Yep. So, and it's just like Aaron Cottenham's kind of mentioning down there. And I think it has more to do with Microsoft sees another company, kind of like EA does, and they're like, okay, we can just buy this, and they see the cash cow and they want to try to milk the cash cow. And I'm thinking they try to just do it on a kind of cheaper, increase your final profits, profit margin, all that stuff type of thing, which is what ends up ruining.
I mean, they will have the ability to do that if necessary.
But
But if Microsoft is smart, they'll let them be their own separate entity and then only claim a portion of their profits or whatever. If they're smart, you know.
Well, yeah, if they're smart. But like what we just read in that last article right there, there's a chance that they might make like
that's our next story. That's our next story.
Okay,
stick to the topic.
So, well, and that's what I'm saying. It's like that whole topic right there. I think that could definitely be destructive to those games. Like, yeah, that irritates me. So,
Aaron says Microsoft won't. Yeah, I mean that is also true, but I mean time will tell. So, getting into our next story.
Yep.
Let's go this. All right. Microsoft confirms that some Bethesda games will be full Xbox and PC exclusive, which Athen, you're not happy about at all. So, like I said, they've confirmed that some titles from Bethesda and parent company ZeniMax Studios will be exclusive to Xbox and PC. But then again, PlayStation does the same thing, right? They have PlayStation exclusive games, which is why last gen PlayStation is the PS4 was so much better than the Xbox One. They had those PlayStation exclusive games, which were amazing, that you couldn't play on PC or Xbox, right? And now they're starting to trickle on PC, but I doubt they'll ever see Xbox at all. This is the next step in building an industry-leading first-party studios team, a commitment we have to our Xbox community. Yeah, that's BS. $7.5 billion deal was finalized. In addition, the Bethesda creative teams, gamers should know that Xbox consoles, PC, and Game Pass will be the best place to experience new Bethesda games, including some of the new titles in the feature will be exclusive to Xbox and PC players. More about Starfield, which is on you. Though this guy doesn't talk about which games are going to be exclusive, he does mean the biggest titles in the portfolio. So some games are going to be exclusive to only Xbox and PC, which is good for me because I'm a PC player. I do own an Xbox, but I haven't touched in forever. I just use Crunchyroll and HBO Max on it. But going into the next story, Skyrim and Fallout 4 more Bethesda games set for SPS boosts. All right, so that's not our next story. What I wanted to bring up was this. This is my Game Pass, and these are all the Bethesda games that are available to me because I have Game Pass. We got Doom Eternal, the Standard Edition, Fallout 76, Dishonored 2, Wolfenstein Youngblood, Rage 2, Elder Scrolls 5, Elder Scrolls 3, Morrowind, Wolfenstein Old Blood, Wolfenstein New Order, Disordered, Doom 64, Doom 2. Look, down here, Doom 3 and Doom 1, 1993. Of course, you also got Fallout 4, which I bought back in the day. The Evil Within #1. I read. Oh, this game's kind of crazy. Oh, I might stream that again. But then you got Prey, and then you've got Elder Scrolls Oblivion. So these are these are some strong hitters that are available on X-Pass or on Game Pass for what is it, $10, right? So
I may have to get my Game Pass running because I do PC gaming as well, and that selection of games right there is awesome. What pisses me off is that seems like the games that are going to end up being exclusive to Xbox and PC are going to be the Doom franchise, the Fallout franchise is what it looks like.
And Elder Scrolls, probably.
Yeah, I'm not seeing as much the Elder Scrolls on there as I am Fallout.
Fallout 76, or Fallout 4 and Fallout 76.
No, there's more Elder Scrolls there. Yeah, Fallout 4, Fallout 76, got Skyrim, and Oblivion, and Fallout 4. Okay, yeah, so yeah, it's going to be Skyrim, Fallout, and the Doom franchise is what it's looking
like. And if they make any more Wolfenstein games or any more Dishonored games.
Kind of.
And Doom. Look, they got all the Doom games here.
Every single one of them, yeah. And it's like the thing with it is, though, it's like, okay, I am a PC player, so either way, if they go PC and Xbox exclusive, I'll obviously still be able to play them. However, I do like the simplicity of being able to just jump on the console and play every now and then, because I do play video games with Desiree sometimes, and she's not really a great PC player, so we play on console. But
Mickey says Doom is overrated. Fight me. Okay, bro.
Yeah, no, not if you back in the mid '90s playing freaking the shareware download of Doom when it first dropped, dude. Like, I remember when Doom first came out, I was playing that shit like nonstop, and then Doom 2. Oh yeah. But like back in the day, I played the original Wolfenstein. I played the original Duke Nukem and all that.
Duke Nukem, too, what was it? Duke Nukem 3D, Wolfenstein 3D were amazing.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And then I even played the Duke Nukems that were before Duke Nukem 3D, because there was a side scroller.
I heard about that.
1 and 2. So I played those also. So, but
yeah,
I always.
But like, a lot of these are. I mean, Doom Eternal. I still need to beat that game. I have like a lot of games that I really need to get through, but I've just been a lazy POS, and I haven't been like streaming like I have. Which I'll plug that later. But Fallout 76, I heard that's a disaster, but it's getting better. The Dishonored series, you've got 2 and you've got 1. I still need to play those. I played maybe the first couple levels of Youngblood, and yeah, it's not great. Rage 2, I heard, wasn't that good. Elder Scrolls or Skyrim beat it. Morrowind, I played it on the OG Xbox, which I wonder how this one will actually be. Because, I mean, I don't know. I haven't really been able to get into like RPGs lately, because I did start Cyberpunk, but then, I don't know, I just like kind of fell off. I've been playing like a lot of Apex here lately. Yeah. Anyways, Wolfenstein Old Blood, yeah, beat that. New Order, beat that. Doom 64, haven't played that. Doom 2 and Doom 1, I think I've beat those like way back in the day. Fallout 4, yeah, I've done like everything there's possibly do in Fallout 4 pretty much. Evil Within, yeah, I beat that one. That one was trippy. I used to play that in the middle of the night. Talk about some jump scares and some freak out sessions. In Oblivion, I've like beaten that one like way back in the day.
Wasn't the Evil Within? Wasn't that a title release for the 360?
No. I think I got it on Xbox One. And but I want to say they might have made it for the 360, but I'm pretty sure it was developed for the one. It's like it plays almost like Resident Evil though, but there's like a lot of freaky stuff that happens, and it's like a psychological Resident Evil like horror. I guess shooter. So they say survival horror. And yeah, and there's a lot of stuff that's like pretty freaky, and like the story makes like no sense whatsoever. So, but yeah, so that's like a really strong coming.
Played. And it's gonna, like Mickey said over there. My if they screw up Skyrim, I'll actually absolutely lose my shit.
Right.
You can guarantee those games are gonna go through some changes. Because it's going. I mean, unless like Don's saying they allow Bethesda to basically just do their thing, and it's now Microsoft owns Bethesda, but I don't see that happening, and I have a feeling that they're going to make some changes. They're going to try to send it to the next level somehow. I'm thinking, and
yeah, the problem is like EA right now is. EA owns like what Ubisoft and like all these different companies. Oh, EA, is Ubisoft separate? I know they own DICE, which is Battlefield. All right, so this is like the perfect scenario. EA owns DICE, which does Battlefield, and EA can dictate to DICE whether or not to say fix Battlefield 5 or fix Anthem or just leave it, like kill it off. Like we're not putting any more resources in order for you to fix this, what's called a live service game, where you have updates, DLCs, so on and so forth. And they just say, oh, you came out with crap, we're going to leave it as crap. You can't fix it, right? Even though your name's on it, we're dictating to you that you can't save face. That's it. You're done. Right. Yeah. Which they did with Anthem. They were like, oh, we're going to completely re-release Anthem. We're going to re-amp it. We're going to fix everything that's wrong with it. What happened? It's a loss. It is what it is. Right?
Yep.
Battlefield 5 with DICE, they were like, nope, you're not going to fix it. No more new content. No more hot fixes. It is what it is. Work on Battlefield 6.
And that's how some of these... This is what I was trying to allude to earlier, but I was confusing Microsoft with EA. But it's like they just tank games like that because of those, or not games, but like series and developers. It's like, so now DICE is getting heat for freaking Battlefield 5 being such trash and then not doing anything to fix it. So when Battlefield 6 comes out, they either got to knock it out of the park or people are going to be critiquing every single little hiccup. And that's sad, but I hope that's not what happens with the Bethesda games.
Which, from what I can say, Microsoft is not known for doing that. They just pretty much want to bank on the success of a company. Where it seems like we talked about Mojang, right? With Minecraft. They just bought them out and they said, oh, we're just going to expand what platforms you're available on. You do your thing. And, we're just going to collect the paycheck. Right.
Yeah. And that's a good point. Minecraft went nowhere but uphill after Microsoft.
Pretty much. Them. Yeah. And so also that track record is also like, okay, don't mess this up, Microsoft. Right. But the only problem is that because PS4 did so well with their exclusive games, that people bought more PlayStations than they did Xboxes. And is that Microsoft owning Bethesda is going to make those exclusive only games for Xbox and PC the hate is coming from, oh, I own a PlayStation on an Xbox and I don't have a PC, so I'm losing out. So that's where like a lot of the backlash is coming from.
And a big part of it is these games that were exclusive titles on the PlayStation were things that had typically been PlayStation titles anyway. So it's not like Xbox people had access to something and then we're getting it taken away all of a sudden. It's, like The Last of Us. And The Last of Us is really the only one that I can think of that was, or I guess, because Grand Theft Auto is a PlayStation exclusive and Red Dead Redemption is a...
No, they're on both. I have Grand Theft Auto on Xbox.
Okay, so, but... Okay, well, I don't know. Yeah, because my kids had it on there.
All right, so all right, we'll put it this way. Spider-Man is PlayStation exclusive. Okay, but Xbox exclusive is... I don't know, is Gears on PlayStation? Or what about Halo? All right, Halo?
Halo's not on PlayStation, no.
All right, there you go. And Halo's Xbox exclusive, right?
Yeah, and Halo's always been Microsoft exclusive or Xbox exclusive. So and I think that's where basically what I was trying to get at with this was that's where people are being upset. It's like, okay, so you guys moving these games to Microsoft exclusive game means,
right.
I have historically always been playing these games as long as since I could on console. and now you're taking it away from me. This means I'm going to have to buy an Xbox, or I'm going to have to buy a PC in order to play these games. So, and I think that might kind of irritate a lot of the fan base of those games, I think.
Right.
You know, a lot of these people are going to be like, either A, I can't afford to buy a PC, or they're not a Microsoft person. They're not a Xbox person. They're a PlayStation person. So me, I'm not, that doesn't really I'm not a, Xbox person or a PlayStation person per se. I just, I'm like, why do I need to have an Xbox when I have a PC, and then, my console can be a PlayStation? Either way, sorry, I'm going all over the place here.
It's okay. We need to fill time. No, but I mean, I'm the same way. It's like, I don't care. Xbox, PlayStation, doesn't matter. It's like, what games can I play? Right?
Mm-hmm.
And so the last run of PlayStation games made me want to get PlayStation, because the Xbox One launch was rough. Mm-hmm. So many issues. Like, you want to? We're only going to make games that are like multiplayer, and you can game with friends, but we're going to make the party system complete garbage.
Yeah, I hated that, and the fact that your Xbox had to be online. And then there was also,
dude, that killed me. And it's like, what's the point of digitally downloading a game, right? If I have to be online to be able to play that game that I already own.
Yeah. And then it's like, I just didn't like the interface of the Xbox. It was just so clunky and freaking not intuitive at all. So, because at first, when at the beginning of the last gen round, I had both consoles. I had an Xbox One and I had a PS4.
Okay.
And both, they were both special edition versions, and I also had a gaming PC at the time. So, but they were both special edition versions. I had a white PS4 and I had a blue. It was a Forza version of the Xbox and the Destiny version of the PlayStation. And turned out I just didn't like the Xbox. Its UI was clunky. It just made no sense. It was hard to figure out.
It was also like,
navigate.
Yeah, you want multiplayer games? Play them on Xbox, but PlayStation also has them too. You want great single player games? PlayStation. Xbox doesn't have anything.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because the way multiplayer games work now, it's like there's no couch co-op is pretty much dead. It was like, you and all your friends have to buy our product in order to play this game. You want to play a game by yourself? Screw that. And I was like, all right, I'm going to go to PlayStation.
I have been noticing a resurgence of some of the games lately are coming out specifically keeping couch co-op in mind, though. There are a lot of couch co-op type games being dropped now because of people complaining about that. I've noticed.
Speaking of, I completely forgot about this. They are coming back with a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles game. Speaking of couch co-op, all right, I'm going to jump right into this. We'll touch back with Microsoft, but we're going to segue. This one. I'm going to blow this up a bit. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles is getting a new retro beat 'em up because of the success of Streets of Rage 4. It's the same company.
Because of the success.
Streets of Rage 4, the remake. No, it's not even a remake. Streets of Rage 4. That's it. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Shredder's Revenge is a 4-player co-op beat 'em up in the classic Konami style, like the arcade, 4 people on a machine, or 4 people on a Super Nintendo, or did Sega actually have 4 ports for controllers? Anyways, it's so it's a brawler, a brawler that sucked quarters out of anybody who played 1989's Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and its sequel, Turtles in Time. Turtles in Time was amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
because I played both of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle games. I remember the first one was the one that was just toxic hard. Like there were very few people.
That's Nintendo. Yeah, that one doesn't count. It's talking about the arcade ones.
Oh, okay. I never really played the arcade.
Yes, the arcade ones. It was like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. There was like also Avengers. It was like the one cabinet that had like 4 joysticks and buttons on it that like you would just like group together with like your friends to like try and knock it out.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, that arcade Avengers game was hard too. Oh, and X-Men, arcade X-Men with like the 4 sticks on it, bro. That Ninja Turtles done. There's my money right there. It's bringing back Bebop and Rocksteady. It's called Shredder's Revenge. It's pretty much gonna play like the old school game. Here's like a screenshot of it, and that takes me back. I mean, yeah, the animation is a little different, but look, the style of it's done up like it was in the 90s.
That feels like the Ninja Turtles that I remember, not this crap these days they're calling it.
Yeah, but it's a game. And I mean, that looks I mean, it pays homage to the old school game. And look, this is all from the 90s cartoon.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that we grew up on. And it's like, yeah. I'm down for it.
I'm down too. I'd play that. So, it's like Ninja Turtles had always been one of my favorite, like, of everything. Like,
I'd rather play Ninja Turtles than Battletoads.
Right? Oh, Battletoads. You know, there's the part in the intro of Battletoads. Like, I'll never forget it when freaking what was it? Died. There was something. It's so long since I watched it, but it was like his pet dies, and that's when the Toads get all suited up and go into combat.
In the game,
it was like in the game. Yeah, the little movie leading into the game.
I don't know. The 90s were pretty wild. They had video games and they had like cartoons. Because there was a Battletoads game, there was a Battletoads cartoon. Mm-hmm. There was a Biker Mice from Mars cartoon. There was a Biker Mice from Mars game. There was Double Dragons game. There was a Double Dragons cartoon. Mortal Kombat game. Mortal Kombat cartoon.
Cowboy from Moo Mesa.
Anyways, let's see. Our next story is nope. Oh, wrong one.
Hey, that's me.
Skyrim, Fallout 4, and more Bethesda games are set for the FPS boost on Xbox Series X and S. So we talked about the FPS boost, which is boosting the frame rate on certain games. So iconically, games have been running at 30 frames per second, but with these next-gen consoles, they've run at either 60 frames per second at like 4K or natively whatever, or they can run up to 120 frames per second at like 1080. Right. So they're saying that these Bethesda games are getting that boost where they can up the frame rate. During the latest Xbox podcast, Larry Hreeb, sure, and Jeff Rubenstein confirmed that an increase from 30 to 60 frames per second when XPS boost is activated on Fallout 4, Fallout 76, Skyrim, Dishonored, and Prey. So those games, I mean, Fallout 4, Fallout 76, I mean, you don't really need like a high frame rate, or in Skyrim, you don't, and Dishonored, you don't really need like a high frame rate, but to go up to 60, I mean, everything will be so much smoother, but frame, I'm pretty sure, is a shooter. And so the more frames, the better it's going to be.
So, and Fallout 76 has elements of PvP in it, so I could see the frame boost being useful.
I got this muted, so I'm going to I guess this is like a comparison clip. So we shouldn't get flagged on this one. All right, 30 frames, 60 frames. So you can tell like how smoother it is, right?
Mm-hmm.
Just based on that.
Yeah, you're just going to get a smoother, you're going to get less image blur. You're going to get less choppiness. It's,
yeah.
And that's
but games like this, it doesn't make it unplayable, right? It's only shooters where it's like you really, that was a short clip.
You want that reaction time and all that stuff. And it's shooters, you want that. And then also I'm thinking they're doing it to try to kind of bring the consoles kind of closer to that level with PC.
Yeah, but then again, what is a console? It's a PC.
I mean, it is. Yeah.
I mean, it is a PC.
But I mean, historically, consoles have always kind of lagged behind actual.
I mean,
PC
that is true, because the whole thing was that a console was plug and play, right?
Mm-hmm.
You play everything at a certain standard, and then it makes it more accessible to everybody else that doesn't want to invest in a PC, right? Whereas technology, but that's also what's made like PC gaming great, is because a new game comes out and it's however many years down the road, and you can play it at amazing settings, right? Based on your hardware. If you have the best hardware at the time, then you can play that at the whatever settings. But if you have a console, you're stuck at a certain standard for X amount of years.
Yep. And then now with everything going cross-platform, where that's coming into play is the fact that now you have people on consoles that are stuck at a 30 frame game, and then you have people on PC who might be playing at 120 frames,
and that is true,
at 4K on a freaking and that's going to put the console players at a disadvantage every single time, because the person on PC is going to be able to have a better reaction.
It depends, right? It depends who's the server host, right? With a lot of stuff, right? Who has really the more advantage? If you know that you have an advantage-disadvantage system built in with PC and consoles, who do you make the priority, right? In order to make it fair. You make console players the priority, right? And you give PC players lag. That's one way to do it. And you also give console players aim assist, right?
Yeah.
PC players don't get aim assist.
This is very true. You don't. Yeah, you're correct on that.
So there's ways to get around it, which makes it unfair. But then again, if you're going to play cross-platform, there's certain caveats that you need to take into account, right? So, yeah. Because there's certain games that I've seen where it's like, certain people can just completely whiff shots. But then again, I also play on PC, and since I've been like playing Apex, and sometimes when like you die and like you're just stuck like watching another player, it's like, and then like they're also on PC, and it's like, how are you missing these shots, bro? Like seriously. But anyways, back to the story or our article. Let's see. There's nothing else left. We pretty much said it. Multiple lists. It was talking about Game Pass getting the Doom series, and it was talking about getting Rage and like all these shooters. So all these shooters, all these Doom games, Rage, all these Wolfenstein games, you're gonna want that extra frame rate. It's going to make the whole rest of the game being smoother. You're going to be able to track your enemies better, more efficiently with a higher frame rate. Here's a question. That's what it is.
Are the Doom and Doom 2 games on the Game Pass going to be multiplayer? Or are they only doing the single player campaign version of those games?
I don't know, because I don't think Doom was known to be a multiplayer shooter.
Oh yeah, Doom had like huge thing in their multiplayer. I remember LAN party.
I think that started with Doom 64.
I remember back in the day on PC at my aunt's house playing Doom.
Oh, Doom 2?
Doom 2. Yeah, on LAN parties, dude. Like on
that I didn't know.
The old version of the internet.
Right, the whole
So, but yeah, the whole.
I mean, but if you wanted an old school feel, Unreal Tournament and Quake Tournament or Quake Champions, they're free for PC.
Okay,
and
yeah.
it's and it is the classic run, gun, shoot, pick up the best weapons, pick up the best guns, just kill them. I mean, that's it.
Mm-hmm.
So,
and I remember back in the day with it was mostly Doom 2 playing because they had the modders get a hold of it, and they had freaking mods of it up where you could be running around killing a bunch of Homer Simpsons as Bart Simpson and all that stuff. It was so awesome. The modding.
Yeah, I remember that with Quake 2. It'd be like, yeah, all types of mods. Oh, Spider-Man, fairies, like superheroes. Oh, or yeah, red, blue Superman, because that was a thing in the 90s. Yeah, I remember all that.
They did all that. They did all that with Doom 2 and Duke Nukem 3D also. I think there might have been a little bit with Wolfenstein, but Wolfenstein was just such a basic game at the time. There were sprites.
Wolfenstein 3D was based off of the Doom engine, like Doom 1 engine. So, but I didn't think multiplayer got around until Doom 2 and Quake 2.
I remember it mostly on the multiplayer with Doom 2. So that one is the one I remember definitely doing multiplayer on. And then obviously Duke Nukem. So
so this one's all right, so we got I have two more stories that are going to be interesting, which are so 2 Call of Duty Warzone cheaters were banned on Twitch after the model/actress that plays Mara calls them out on her stream. So 2 Call of Duty cheaters were banned on Twitch because they do like Twitch tournaments now. After the actress that plays Mara calls them out on Twitter. So Mara is a Warcom operator. Yeah, if you don't know who Mara is, whatever.
We've talked about her because this isn't the first time she's been mentioned. There was
there was that whole thing. Yeah, the whole lawsuit about some writer/director hired her to play a certain character, and then Activision pretty much ripped off her likeness. Yeah, on something else. Anyways, all right, so the actress took to Twitter to expose 2 cheaters, a boyfriend and girlfriend couple who were using aimbots in a Warzone tournament played on the 12th, like 2 days ago, 12th of March.
Oh, wow.
She was alerted to suspicious gameplay after hosting one of the streamers in question at the end of a Twitch stream of her own copied. Yeah, all right, so can I play this? All right, let me mute that. Full screen that. Oh, quality's going to be bad. All right. So your own opinions. Bro, all right. That is highly sus.
What? Play that again. I didn't.
You're not. All right. You're not seeing. All right. Watch this. Bro, that's highly sus. No. Yeah. Wait. So, if I can back up. All right. Right there. Aims at the hill where they are when they're exposed. And then when they shoot, immediate headshot.
Yeah. Okay.
And then shoots through the wall. I mean, come on, bro. When you ADS, right? I mean, you're not going to be aiming at the hill. You're going to be looking at where people will actually be.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was that one. So is this the same one? Looks, yeah, aim it at the hill, and then right where they are, as soon as they reach the crest. Aim at the hill again. Come on. All right. And then, oh, really?
Okay.
Like, really? I mean, you can't. Yeah. I mean, yeah, that's aimbotting. Obviously.
That was
so anybody that doesn't know what aimbotting is, it's pretty much where like you're playing a game and then like you're seeing like a silhouette of a character through objects, right?
Mm-hmm.
So they can aim through a hill or a wall, like you know that they're there, but they make it super obvious because look, you see their character behind a hill, right?
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, I mean that's just I find it interesting yeah.
There's different kinds of like aimbotting too, because there's that where I saw it on the second one. You saw the outline of all this stuff through the smoke, which
aimbotting is just immediately like you go to the head of the character, right? That's aimbot. So wall hacks is when you see the outline. I'm mistaken. So wall hacks is where you see the outline of the character through walls.
Mm-hmm. And then aimbotting is where when you pull the trigger, it automatically aims in on them.
Yeah, where you ADS, it immediately goes to their head, no matter where they are.
And there's actually controllers that are sold that are programmed to automatically have aimbot into them, and it's like they're sold on the market. They take actual Xbox or PlayStation controllers, they modify them, and they have them programmed to where they'll automatically aimbot and shit like that.
Right.
And it's like people are like, that's cheating. It's like, but it's a product that's sold. It's not cheating. Yeah.
It's the same thing as using like glitches in game. You're still using a glitch. I mean, yeah, it's in the game and it's widely accessible to everybody, but I mean, it's still cheating. But anyways, all right. So our next story that I have. A bored fugitive was sent back to prison after trying to buy Call of Duty Warzone or Call of Duty Cold War. So that's a lot of filler BS. All right. So a report from West Midlands Police this details an encounter. It's fairly wild. Police officers noticed that two people had changed direction to avoid stumbling across them. After giving the officers a false name, one of them kicked an officer in the groin before attempting to flee. That's probably reason enough for them to throw someone in jail. Yeah, okay. Serving a 17-year sentence for crimes including robbery and firearms offensive that was set to finish in 2024. And naturally, the sentence was increased by 19 months. And after he absconded from prison and consecutively assaulted two police officers, quite while he decided to risk being returned to prison by making the idiotic decision to come into town during lockdown with a friend to buy a video game remains a bit of mystery. How dumb do you have to be? Like, seriously. So the way the story was told to me, they went to a GameStop or somewhere to buy games, saw some cops, tried to avoid them, came back again, saw them again, tried to avoid them, came back, knew that they couldn't get around them, and then assaulted the guys. It was like, come on, bro.
It's like, how do you not think you're not going to jail?
Is the game that important that you just hey man, I escaped from jail and I don't want to get busted again, but I really want to get this game. Kick the dude in the nuts. All right. So some people, man.
Yep, some people's kids. So
all right. Yeah, I've exhausted all of mine.
All right, so we'll go up. I've got a little bit to talk about on Starfield, and then we'll go from there. So right. Bethesda boss gives update on Starfield, and Microsoft Bethesda briefing. Ashley Chang of Bethesda Game Studios says the team working on Starfield is uniquely positioned to succeed, especially now with Microsoft taking over, huh? So Bethesda Game Studios Managing Director Ashley Cheng has shared some new insight on the development practices behind Starfield and The Elder Scrolls 6. Though we know very little about Starfield in particular, you can expect it to fall in line with the broad open-world RPG genre of other Bethesda games. During the Bethesda Microsoft briefing, Cheng said the team working on Starfield is uniquely positioned to succeed because developers themselves have worked together for years on other open-world RPGs in the Elder Scrolls and Fallout franchises. Today, the team working on Starfield have all worked on several open-world RPGs together. This shared experience of chemistry doesn't happen overnight. It takes a long time, and it's a lot of hard work. Cheng didn't mention The Elder Scrolls 6 by name, but the group's logo flashed on screen when Cheng spoke about the upcoming games from Bethesda Game Studios. As we work on our next generation of games, I can think of no better place to be than here at Xbox. No matter how crazy the idea, the team at Xbox always says, yes, let's try it. So that's, I guess, good news. Release dates for Starfield and The Elder Scrolls 6 have not been announced yet, but Starfield will come first and then Elder Scrolls 6 according to the current schedule. They are presumably being developed for next-gen hardware and PC. Also, during the event, Cheng said Microsoft has always been a great partner for Bethesda Game Studios, going back to the days of Elder Scrolls 3 Morrowind, which launched as a console exclusive for Xbox. Okay, so they were Xbox exclusives once upon a time. I didn't know that. Xbox has been a great partner, always ready to help solve problems like figuring out how to optimize performance and push the hardware as much as we can. The roundtable interview between Microsoft and Bethesda also offered some new insight on future games from Bethesda. Xbox boss Phil Spencer said games will release on any platform that has Xbox Game Pass, which cuts out PlayStation and other competing consoles. The arrangements that are already in place will remain intact, so definitely will still be a timed console exclusive on PS5. It will likely come to other platforms after a year. We also learned that a whopping 20 back catalog Bethesda games are headed to Game Pass today, March 12th, which you already showed us. And finally, Microsoft and Bethesda said they will have major updates to share on their future pipelines during an event sometime in the summer.
I don't know what's going on with stream.
Did it cut out again? Yep, it's glitching. Dawn is frozen. Well, that's interesting. So I'll go ahead and I guess refresh here. So I'm not really sure what's going on. We seem to be having some sort of technical difficulties again. So just waiting for Dawn to jump back in. So with that, we're waiting for Dawn to jump back in, but yeah, so it looks like Starfield is going to be Microsoft exclusive. If Dawn will jump back in. I'm not really sure what's going on here, but we are going to be getting ready to end broadcast here in a minute. I might do that just now because we're having the difficulties anyway. So, I I don't know if Don's coming back or not. So I'm just going to go ahead and do our sign off now. So, yeah, thank you for watching. Make sure you check us out everywhere on social media, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, all that good stuff. Don does streaming. Check him out at I don't remember what his pages are called. Nerdish Me Senpai and Senpai Gaming or something like that, I think is what his pages are. Also Don Baruby, Athen Daily. Yeah. We will catch you again next week, same time, same place. Hopefully we'll have all this technical difficulty shit figured out. Y'all have a good weekend. I'm Athen, and there was Don. Bye.